2021. I'm maybe the best thing for me would be, let's see, to start from here. And also, parables in the Bible that talk about the matrix. I want to wish peace upon all those that are secured in their direction of one creator. I might also add that I found another client, so I'm back up to full-time employment right now. So this is kind of why I've stemmed off. And during all this stuff, it's almost, um, shall I say, I've been under attack. And when you realize that you're being attacked, it helps you to focus and realize that there are seriously things going on the veil that you don't see. And what's happening spiritually beyond the veil uses the brain, all right? The flesh, what we think of the flesh as material, isn't. But it's an illusion, a trick that's been pulled over your eyes that's so successful, you don't even realize what you truly are, which is spirit. Now, the Bible doesn't have any parables that specifically refer or specifically reference the Matrix, but the Bible and the Matrix trilogy do share some themes and references, which is a bullshit lie. Look, this is what I mean. You got to be able to identify that this world is duality. No matter what it is that you read about on this side of it, there's going to be somebody that's writing something that counteracts it. It's just the way it is. And this is why it takes discernment. It takes the spirit of truth to be on you to understand what's happening in this reality construct that we're living in. Okay, so the Bible does make reference to the matrix. There's 5 parables exactly that use the word matrix in the Bible. Okay, but what I need you to understand, watch. Number for the word matrix in the Strong's Concordance is recum and translated matrix 5 times and womb. The matrix is a womb. Now, a lot of people say, well, what does that mean? We live in a womb? Somebody came in and just walked out. It only took them less than 1 minute to listen to what it is that I'm trying to share to them. Why? Because this information, the liars do not want to hear. Okay? Duality does absolutely exist on this plane of existence. And with that duality, you must understand right and wrong, up and down, back and forth, inside and out, inverted and extroverted. You've got to understand that this world, our language, everything we speak is split tongue. So the word is matrix. And it is 5 times as the meaning in the King James Bible is the womb. I don't know if I'm in a perfect space right now to be teaching, to be honest with you. The name of this movie, I should have started out, this show here, it is a movie in a sense. I'm just a player on the stage like everybody else. This is a complete, fabricated, modified reality of the spiritual world, man. And it is such a mind-blowing escape. It really can draw you in to the fabric of good and evil. I need everybody to understand that there is something that is of pure light, pure love, and pure righteousness. Evil does not reside in the point of singularity. What you got to understand is that the supreme point of singularity, just like you are you and I am me, created good and evil from one another. And it is just, when you're on this level, you just think how much reverence you should share in your heart for this entity, not a divinity, but the supreme entity, a spiritual force that created good and evil, and within this realm of good and evil, created the material world. You must think about the material world. So the matrix is a womb. Now, this picture, this photo here that you're looking at is Beyonce, and she's coming out on stage. And those are two spread legs with high heels on, in case you can't tell. If you want to play dumb, because that's what a lot of people do on this plane of existence, they like to play dumb and can't figure this stuff out. Okay? But that is the womb, a representation of the womb, and at the same time it's a representation of the CERN. Now, this lesson mostly here is going to be about no good deed goes unpunished. And in order to explain and give you good insight about what I'm trying to share with you, then I have to tell a story and what's happened to me about this attack, this spiritual attack. And maybe someone will ask, well, why? How did this all come about? Why is the spirit attacking you? Because when you fall in line with the creator and you fall in line with the point, not when you fall in line with the point of singularity and realize that you are created from something that is brilliantly beyond our capacity. Our thoughts are not his thoughts, and his thoughts are not our thoughts. My thoughts are not like your thoughts, and man's thoughts are not like mine. I don't know the parable on that. 55:8. Should have known it would be in Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8, Bible Hub. Let me turn my mouse on, folks. Right there. I'll let you be in on what's not a big secret. My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. You know what's all weird about all this to me is in the Bible, it talks about the Amalekites, it talks about the Anakites, and it talks about a tribe of people that are the Anaki. Anaki. I'm sure that all of these tribes here that they're speaking about are tribes from what created. I mean, this is really a delicate situation. I don't want to be like Paul the apostle, where he said one thing to this group of people over here because he was trying to please them, and then he said another thing over to this group of people over here, and he was trying to please them. And to bring that to, a little bit of more of an understanding, Romans chapter 3, verse 7, Bible Hub. However, if my falsehood accentuates God's truthfulness to the increase of his glory, why am I still condemned as a sinner? King James Bible says, "For if the truth of God hath more abounded through my lie," unto his glory, and this would be the Supreme Spirit, this would be what was good. Even what is good and what is evil is not of the supreme point of singularity. It's something far more complicated than we have the mind to absorb. I mean, this is why, in order to learn the truth, you have to um, call on the spirit of truth. You have to have a contrite heart, um, a willingness to bow down to something that you can't see. Now, here's the thing is you see a lot of people that bow down kissing who? Images of people kissing the Pope's ring. These people are all on their knees and they're bowing down to a man and they're kissing his ring, a metal piece of garbage. And they give this Pope such reverence, the Catholic Church. Images of inside the Catholic Church at the Vatican. Let's see. This one almost looks like it could work. But no, it didn't come up. There's a lot of meaning going on in these photos, folks. I don't have any backup anything, folks. So it's like this information that I share is valid information, and you got to make a decision on who it is that you want to follow. You want to follow this person here, which is mankind, okay? Believing in mankind that they can create a system that is better than God's, the creator. You see, there is a place outside this plane of existence that is perfect. Okay, death doesn't exist. It's so mind blowing to me that people can't see the truth. Sorry, I just kind of going to be all over the place. Again, like I said, I'm going to get back to the whole moral of this real story is no good deed goes unpunished. So people are bowing down and kissing the Pope's ring. I wouldn't want a man kissing my hand. I would like to clear my voice. Let me grab some water here. Got some drainage. So, we are mankind. Gematria calculator. No good deed goes unpunished. I got to keep reminding myself that. I think what's really happening. Gematria calculator. I think what's really happening is, well, they didn't give me the one that I normally use here. I don't know what's up with that. Gematria calculator. The riddle in the Bible is mankind. Okay, mankind is created on the sixth day of creation. And in simple gematria, mankind comes to 66. Okay, now I just should start. I think I'm trying to evade starting this conversation because I don't really know how it's going to end. You know, it really happened yesterday, and boy, if I did a video yesterday, I'd be screaming all kinds of profanity because I'm so upset about it. So, what does it mean when no good deed goes unpunished? Excuse me. Sorry, I don't know what's happened. All of a sudden, my throat's kind of locking up. I'm upset about this. And I know that this has happened to you. And that's the beauty of it. If you're 10 minutes in, 16 minutes into this lesson, you're going to be able to realize that this at the end of this lesson, hey, that happens to me. No good deed goes unpunished. Every time you seem to do something good for somebody, you get punished for it. There was a long, long time ago that um, Oprah Winfrey gave her studio audience like a Prius or something. I don't know. I don't know what the car was. I'm just saying a car. So there was one person in the studio audience that was poor. And that person didn't have the money to pay for the taxes on the vehicle. And in order to take the car from the store, to be able to pick up the car from the dealership, you had to have the taxes for it. And this one person in the audience, I don't know whether this is real or not because it's all a shit show, anyways. But he didn't have the money to pay the taxes, so he raised a big old stink and got all this public outcry and couldn't believe that it was just a complete shit show, anyways. So, mankind in simple gematria equals 666. Okay? And this is what was created on the sixth day of creation. Now, the reason why no good deed goes unpunished is because every time you do something, like I'm going to give you my story. I got a new client. And this new client, and in my field of business, what I do, I deal with a lot of mentally disabled, incapacitated, dementia, mental illness. That's what I do. I take care of these kinds. And in this business, you have to have a calm, slow demeanor about you, and everything. And within, I just got this client. This is my third day that I worked. I started on Thursday, and I go in, and if I hadn't done it, maybe I wouldn't have anything to bitch about. But the bottom line is that I the customer, I took her to the store to go grocery shopping. And she's just like pulling shit up off of the shelves here, pulling this off the shelf, this off the shelf, and just dropping it in the cart. And then when we get to the cashier, the cashier, she doesn't have the money. She has, now this is all new to me. I don't know the woman. I don't know her mental capacity as of yet, but I'm starting to learn that she's a little bit not completely there. I mean, but the craziness is she can appear in conversation that she is there, but she really isn't. So I do something that you're not supposed to do. And she had $160 on her food card, and the total bill was another $120 on that. It was like 280 with taxes and 293, something like that, maybe more. It was close to 300, and I paid the difference. Now I just started working for this, and I really wanted the extra income, and that's pretty much why I'm kind of what I do. I do kind acts, and sometimes I do things that I shouldn't do. And I've been doing it for most of my life. I've been helping out a lot of people. And I think it's better, I feel better for me to help people out in my heart than to give these people here at this church, you know, to build these buildings and live high off the hog, have atrocities that take place within inside of the church. I mean, awful things, folks. Everything that is evil comes from the church. This church here, the Catholic Church, because everything that is breaks off from the Catholic Church. Now, for somebody to say something like what I'm sharing, you have to say, you have to show receipts. You can't just say the Catholic Church is evil. This is why such a small number of people will sit and listen, because they want to know the truth. Okay, that's all that matters. In a world of lies, all you want to know is the truth. Have you been lied to at every corner? It's really strange when you're walking in the truth. You can see people's lies. The Spirit allows you to see it. You just know when a lie comes out of somebody's mouth. So back to no good deed goes unpunished. I paid for almost a little over a third, probably 45% of the woman's bill I paid. She paid 160, I paid like 130 bucks. And she leaves her keys in my car. And then I drive home. And then she calls me and asks, and I'm on my way home now to do my second job with my dad, because I do different clients. So now I'm on my way home. This is just right after my dad has fallen in the front yard over a branch and busted 5 of his ribs. So during this time, that's the second part of this story here. So I come back here, and afterwards, I got to go to the store and pick up some new meds for my dad, which is just annoying as hell. But you know what? I don't even know why I do it or anything anymore. You just can't trust these people in this plane of existence to share anything with you. I'm just going to show a few photos. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. Okay, that's the inside of her refrigerator. Let me find some more. That's part of the refrigerator. That's part of the refrigerator. Now, this isn't a bad thing. All right? I mean, people have, you know, some people just have problems. They're just not there. They don't know, okay? So why am I showing you these? Because no good deed goes unpunished. This is what a refrigerator looks before I started. Now the rest of the house was no better as well. It's a little. These photos here were after I had started already. I should have taken photos before, but the entire stove, all of this, just, you know how stoves get if you don't clean them, food particles, completely every covered. I sprayed it all down. Now, as a caretaker, I'm uh I'm supposed to do whatever it is that the social worker says that she can be allotted for time, or he, whatever I'm doing, whoever I'm doing. So now you know the truth. I might have to cut that one out. Um, anyways, that's what the door looked like after I was done cleaning it. And what I'm talking, and this is really nice and clean now. And it's 3 days I've been working for a full, I nonstop, because it's only 2 hours and a half that she's allotted. So I have to go in and try to get as much done in this home that is looked like, a tornado come through it. 3 days alone, I've been in the kitchen and I'm not even nowhere near finishing this kitchen. It'll take me at least another 4 days to get the kitchen and looking good. So she leaves her keys in my car and then calls me after. Now get this, when I went to the store with her the first time, she didn't have the money, and she's all, rather than get in my car, I should have just let the whole thing unfold and just say, hey, well, my jacket's at home. I don't have the money. You're going to have to take $160. That's what I should have probably did. But me being the kind-hearted person that I am, I went and forked out the other $130. And this is where it gets all greasy, man, is because now she's left her keys in my car. I drive all the way home. She's a 22-mile drive, so that's 44 miles. I drove to the grocery store, 4 miles, had to go back, get my things, drop her off, go back to the store again. So you're looking at another 20 miles. By the time that my day ended, we were looking at about 70 miles that I'd driven. And then she wanted me to drive back again, which would have been about 110 miles. She wanted me to bring her keys. And she lied to me. She told me that she got a check in the mail. And she threatened me. I only worked with her one day. I spent $120 on her groceries. I cleaned her kitchen the best that I could do in the 2.5 hours that I had. I focused on the sink and the stove is what I focused on. And what I focused on, well, the counter, the sink, and the stove. And then when I came back in the next day, it looked like a freaking tornado had went through there again. I mean, she had shit on the counters from one end all the way to the other, and there wasn't one thing left on the counter when I left the house because I wanted to keep that space looking clean for her. So I did all this, and then she threatens me. She says to me on the phone, "Well, if you don't bring me my keys because I have a check in the mail for child support, then we're just going to have to sever our relationship with one another." And folks, that sent me in overdrive. I lost it. And you're not supposed to let yourself get upset. And this is all taking place over the phone. And I'm having to tell this woman, "Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. I just went to the store with you and shoved $120 out of my own pocket, out of the kindness of my heart to do that, and you're going to threaten me, my job, my extra income that I really could use right now. You're going to threaten that income for something that I did for you kind. No good deed goes unpunished. I did something kind for you." And then she comes at me and she threatens me that she did, and I don't take that. I'm like, well, uh, she's trying to push me to get in my car and drive back down to Turlock from Desto, and I wasn't going to have it. Because I'm thinking, you know what? It was yesterday, so it was a Friday. She said that she had bills to pay, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, 1 day, 2 days isn't going to make any difference. You can tell them what happened, you know. This is why people get all just blown out of proportion about what they're doing. There was no reason at all for her to be so mean and nasty to me after all that I'd done. And during the interview, she's all like, "Oh yeah, I'm a Christian woman and everything," and she kept talking about her Christianity. And now this is employment, folks. I just can't go in there barking scriptures and start teaching. Uh, I can tell already she's just one of those women that say that she's a Christian. She talks a lot of stuff that she has scriptures posted on the probably about 8 or 9 different scriptures posted on the cupboards. But you know, when you get around me, so I have to tone it back a little bit. I can't really go in there talking about spirituality because these are people that and the thing is she wants to. What annoys me is she wants to keep, oh, blessings to Jesus. I'm like, no, nothing that's happening for you right now is from blessings from Jesus. What you have coming from you is blessings from me and the person that I am, because I serve the proper, upright spirit of truth. Okay, I do things out of the kindness of my heart. Now, if you've followed my channel for a while, I can get pretty crass. I can use profanity. I can let loose. I can threaten CEOs. I can threaten corporation. This is why the word corp is in the word corporation, and a corp is a corpse. It's a dead body. The FBI is a dead body. The CIA is a dead body. The government is a dead body. Hollywood is The Walking Dead. They presented you a movie in Hollywood called The Walking Dead. Now, there's just one photo here that's really important that I'd like to show you, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to explode one. It almost looks like it's been changed a little bit. You could probably find the photo back in one of my earlier. Now, this is the photo that I'm talking about, but I don't, it's still too far away. But if you look real close here, look at here where my hand is. What are those? Those are teeth, and this is the nostrils. All right. And this here are your eyes, an eye on each side of it. All right. And this is a representation of one of two things. I I would probably have to say a goat. All right. Because a goat or a dragon. It's either one of those two if you look closely. A goat or a dragon. So I'm trying to find another picture. There's better pictures that I could use than that one. This one here is a pretty good one. Oh, well, right there. That's a pretty good picture. That's pretty square in your face. If you can't see the face of an animal there, then you just have blinders on. I mean, I don't dislike you or hate you for it. You just can't see. And I'm just trying to bring information to you and share with you. I wish I could enlarge this. Give me 1 second. It's not a clear picture, but I'll try to explain it to you anyways. Naturally, all things that exist come from the sun. That's what a representation this is. And you notice the two hands on here, these are a representation of time. And this is the god of Chronos. In this plane of existence, the material world is time. Time consumes. All right. So you have the picture here. Now, if you see here, these are like bars of light coming down. And if you look closely, these These are baby angels being born into this plane of existence, coming into the material world. You see, the Vatican is showing you right in your face what's happening. And I still would like to be able to enlarge this because you're not going to be able to get a good impression or imprint of what it is I'm sharing. But if you look here real close, that is some kind of dragon or totem's face or something like that. All right. And these baby angels that are being born into this plane of existence are being melted down. Okay. They're being melted down into a gob of goo. All right. And then you have these priests down here. And what are they doing? They're collecting the souls, the essence at the church. It's very clear what they're showing you here. At least it is for me today. I never saw this, and that the fact that I can decipher this stuff today is it's amazing. It's for me. It's almost scary because people just don't want to listen. They do not want to hear this kind of information at all. They just want to walk away blindly from it and not really take in what it is that they're seeing. They'll deny this all day long that this is some kind of dragon or a goat and that little baby angels are being born into it. They're being melted down, radiated is what they're being melted all the way down here. That's all the essence of us, the souls being dropped inside of a cistern and collected. Remember the movie Doom? The very first Doom, they got bodies hooked up to a machine, and the machine is sucking out the essence, which is the pineal gland, the fluids, the cerebral fluids. That's what they're doing. And literally, this is a literal thing. This isn't fantasy. These people are doing that. That's what they're doing is they are feeding off of our souls, off of a race of people. They create everything that is the evil that happens on this plane of existence. Now, they just set the ball rolling, and you have a choice. That's what they are. They're a bug race. These are literally a bug race of people. And they're showing you in Hollywood, like movies MIB, about the bug climbing up the cockroach bug climbing up the radio tower and stuff. These are all truth bombs in Hollywood. What they're showing you, that mankind that's created on the sixth day of creation is a bug race. They're a beast race of Gentile are jinn tiled in flesh. Okay, DJINN or JINN. A jinn is a wizard, it's a warlock, it's a one that practices witchcraft. The same thing as MAGA. MAGA is Make America Great Again, but MAGA in Latin is magus, and magus is a magician, someone who practices sorcery. These people have pulled blinders over eyes. This is why everything that they show you in Hollywood with movies like King Kong and the Hunger Games and the Dome, they show you always a hexagon. There's always six sides. It's all here. I'll show you something right now. Give me one. Oh, I can't do it on this phone here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll find it. Images of a shield around headquarters in the game Last War. Didn't pull it up. Images of a shield over headquarters in the game Last War. Reggie's Last Shelters 5. It's not pulling up what it is I'm wanting to see. This kind of sucks. Okay, well, we'll find that another time. Instead, then, What we'll do is we'll go to this guy here and I'll find it.
Let me tell you the biggest secret in the entire world. There is not one thing bigger than what I'm about to say. I'm not going to try to make this real interesting or keep your attention. I don't care how long the video is, because I don't want most people to know this anyway. What I'm about to say can get you hurt. It can get the people around you hurt, and even worse. It is the way that people get fame and wealth. It's how they get in touch with any single entity. They built empires and kingdoms and got people into office.
uh, when they say entity, I always think divinity. All right, something that is divided of the divine, because there's a point of singularity that is pure light, pure love, pure essence, and it created the physical realm and it gave good and evil on this plane of existence. And the bottom line is no country that are killing one another is good. It doesn't matter who you are, what the reason is, or any of that. Okay, if you are blowing people up and killing, then you have a serious problem. And I don't care what country you come from, you're all evil. There's no reason at all for us to be on the plane of existence killing one another.
It's the way that the whole world goes around, and the people who do know don't want you to know. The way you can get healed, the way you can get possessed, usually the latter. It's the way that you can have relationships with ghosts, even those kind of relationships, and the way that you can send them to the light, get them to stop bothering you. It's the way you can get all knowledge in the whole world,
Wow, my
including
phone
answers
is.
to any scientific
This
question.
thing is on
It's how you can
fire.
get answers to history and understanding about all things. It's how people can attract mates and everything else in the entire world. It's how you can take somebody's sickness from them. It's how you can give sickness to them. It's how you can talk to any single entity in the whole everything, including God. And what I'm about to say is the thing that I recommend the least to everybody on the planet, except I recommend it the most to the people who believe like I believe. It's the way you can get in touch with any single spirit that has a name. It's the way these people do the Mother, or Sophie, or Sophia, or Mary, or Seth, or Raphael, or Michael. And you can get all knowledge, whether evil or good, and it's the easiest thing in the entire world. It's actually easier than easy. It's nothing. It's where I got all my knowledge about the Bible from that people haven't said in 2,000 years, and people wonder how I know those things. They think I'm just a great scholar. No. Everything about what I'm about to say here is where I got everything that I know from. But there's only one right. There's no right way, but there's only one right belief that you should have to do this.
Now, scratch belief. I love everything this guy's saying, but you can't have a belief system. You got to be like, hey, I either know or I don't know. Okay, someone who believes something on faith because mankind has taught you to do so and you're indoctrinated it from the minute you're spit from the womb, then that's the problem. You have to either admit to yourself and lose your ego that you don't know something rather than just aimlessly believing what you've been taught about all this stuff, man. That'll get you in trouble. Be inquisitive. Don't know things. It's okay not to know things. It's better because if you knew everything, then you'd be God.
Or many things can happen. Poltergeists, possession. I've seen 6 people get possessed at the same time at 3 in the morning. And somebody jump up and try to kill me because of what I'm about to say. Because they got possessed. A literal demon in their face. Against physics, against all logic. Nobody can move like that. And it's something every person has, every person is, and every person does. They just don't know how often that they could do it. It's where you can get millions of false prophecies, a few real prophecies. It's where people can get knowledge about wealth and everything and not realize that it's destroying their family in the process, and they have to give something to get
So
what they're getting, including the sacrifice of their own family members.
damn straight.
You know, the deal they were entering into whenever they were praying to these different entities, no matter who they thought they were, deceptive or real. It can cause you to be somebody else and lose your soul. It can tell you all secrets about any single person, anytime you want. And the people that know. And they want you to keep looking at all this other stuff. They want you to look at rituals and ceremonies. Money. You do this with money and this happens. And you drink blood and this happens.
Uh huh.
They want to keep you focused on everything.
Who wants you to eat and drink blood? Jesus 6:56, for whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood shall remain in me and I in him. For my flesh is good food and my blood is good drink. Whoever eats my flesh and drinks my blood remains in me and I in him. Excuse me, folks, but that's a blood and flesh eater. That's a vampire. Somebody that wants you to eat their flesh and drink their blood is a vampire. You see, and for some reason, when people read that kind of information, they cannot put that together. That this is vampirism.
Physical, to keep you from actually knowing the simplest truth in the entire world. It's how names like Mohammed, Joseph Smith, and any spiritual things literally changed kingdoms because of this. Manson, Koresh, Jones. So before you do what I'm about to say, I don't recommend it for anybody, and you should not do it unless you are praying to one single thing, not Jesus, nothing. Unless you're praying to one single thing and you're not doing anything for
Point of singularity, the Supreme Spirit, the Most High, the visible and invisible, the all you can see, the all you cannot see, the Almighty, the Source, the very force that moves all things in place, the Supreme, not the Supreme Divinity, but the Supreme, because the Supreme is what created good and evil. The Supreme is the true puppeteer, not Satan. They always show you Satan pulling the strings. No, folks, Satan doesn't pull the strings. The Supreme Spirit of Truth is the one that pulls all the strings. He's the one that orders all things. He's the one that ordains. And I could be incorrect to even say that the Supreme Spirit is a he. Because the Bible plainly says that God is not a man, and man is masculine. So the Supreme Spirit could very well be both masculine and feminine. I mean, he created it, right? So,
for your own gain or your own will, and you're only praying to honesty, truth, and God the Father, you should not do this. Because you don't know what you're getting into. And all these entities that you are praying to, and these things that you are seeing, are way smarter than you. And for you to get gain, something else has to be taken from someone else. And for you to get healing, what you have has to be given to somebody else. You cannot just dissipate it. It doesn't work like that. For you to get deliverance, it has to be given to somebody else. They don't go into nothing. Just like whenever Jesus was a thing, he sent the spirits into the pigs. And there's no wrong way to do it.
and what are the spirits? The spirits are legions. That's why you have the word legion in religion. Because religion everywhere, all religions are evil. You have to find the spiritual source. This is why God created mankind evil in the first place. He allowed it to happen. Revelations 13:15 tells us so. The Spirit allowed it. He permitted the second beast to breathe into the image of the first beast so that the first beast could speak and cause all those that didn't worship it to be killed. Okay, that's Revelations 13:15. So that's what's happening on this plane of existence. There's a supreme place where it's just pure light, pure love. There's no evil in it. You know, that as above, so below is saying that if it's as it is above as it is below, then there's a war that's still going on in heaven. And there's a war being used here on this plane of existence for our flesh. There's a God that wants to kill and destroy and use and abuse and party with it and do all that. And then there's the Supreme Spirit that created good as well. And there's another God. Both these entities, divinities, I should say, excuse me. Because when I say entity, I'm talking about the Supreme entity, not a divinity of the Supreme. Everything is to the Supreme's glory. There's nothing that deserves the righteous worship of the Supreme Most High, the one, the point of singularity. There's nothing better. It's the only way that you can find the truth. You place anything between you and the Spirit, the Supreme Spirit, then you can't find it. on this plane of existence, because good and evil are a fabric of one another, and you can't take from one to the other, or this entire reality that we live in, which teaches our soul about good and evil. That's what this is all about. It's about teaching our soul what is right and what's wrong, for you to see the executions and killings and murders and wars and all that on this plane of existence. This is an eternal, perpetual plane of existence of death, okay? It may never end. This place here could be hell. Do I know that? I don't know that. Do I believe it? No, I don't believe it. I just don't know. I would lean more towards that that's what this plane of existence is. Nothing more, nothing less. Both good and evil. Remember, it was the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It wasn't just the tree of evil. So good does exist on this plane of existence, but the only thing is what you're getting shoved down your face from mainstream media and the television and all the doctors commercials and the prescription commercials that you're seeing and the LBGTQ&A that they shove down your throats and the politics and stuff. That's all evil. That's all of it. Hollywood, all evil. None of it is good. Now, this equipment that you're looking in is equipment that is could be used for both good and evil. I use it for what I believe. Excuse me for even saying the word. I need to remove believe and belief from my vocabulary. What I would be more accurate to believe is that these are two purposes used. Uh, a machine that is used in a reality construct like CERN for us to learn. Look at the movie Minority Report. Look at the movie Matrix. Okay, look at the movie the Dome. Look at the Lawnmower Man. Look at the Hunger Games. Look at these movies that Hollywood is producing for something other than entertainment, because there's a moral and a message in everything that Hollywood is sending you, and people are not grasping the message that evil runs this world. Evil was turned over to the hands of the wicked. So if evil was turned over to the hands of the wicked, do you think that anything that you're watching on mainstream is upright, just, righteous information? Oh, hell no. The governments are those that are evil. They're the ones that control it, and people just can't seem to figure that out.
Okay. No wrong way to do it. Doesn't matter if you're trying to lay down and focus on this, or turn yourself inward, or you focus on your breathing, because breath is the breath of life. You act like
Mm-hmm.
you're just dead, because dead people don't have cares and everything else. People are trying to do it through Kundalini, they're trying to do it through Eastern meditations, they're trying to do it through all this stuff where they involve their flesh. And that just makes it harder. There's no rituals, no ceremonies, no nothing. They want you to stay focused on that, like I said earlier, the drinking of the blood and all this stuff that you guys think movie stars are doing. There's no wrong way to get there, but there's only one right way to pray. Only one right entity to pray to, and that is God the Father, truth and honesty, and not your own will. If you use this for your own will, you will get
Damn
stuck.
straight, man. I gotta go to it, man. I gotta pull it up. I have to. John chapter 4, verse 24, Bible Hub. He said truth. Truth is honor and honesty and uprightness. And this is what it's saying. And when I say God, I'm not talking about this God either. You got to understand that the word God in Germanic language means gaunt. And gaunt means to guide. Gods are guides. Even though they're evil, they're still guides. They're meant. This is what Paul was saying. If my lies shall abound God's glory more clearly, why am I condemned as a sinner? Because that's what the whole purpose of evil is to abound God's glory more clearly for you. And Paul is telling you that he's a liar. Why? Well, 21:8 of Revelations clearly tells us that the abominable, the cowardly, the liars, sorcerers, the sexually immoral, and well, all liars, it says, all liars shall find their lake in the part that burns with fire and brimstone. Now, folks, personally, myself, I don't believe that there's this place that after your body passes away and your soul lives, that there's this place that you're sent to where eternal torment takes place or any of that. Okay, I think that that's all fear tactics, and that's how they lead you into the fear. I believe that this place here, this life here that you're experiencing, what you're going through right now, is hell within you. Now, you can make it the best of heaven and you can make it the best of hell. It's what your mind is. And understand, the spirit, the supreme spirit, can blind you. He can put blinders on you and not let you see the truth. This is why I've had literally probably 8 or 9 thousand subscribers on my channel. And for every subscriber I get that sticks around, I have probably about 7 or 8 of them that come in, they hear a little bit, and then they're on their way. So this God here is a magi. It's a magistrate. And you have the word magi and magistrate. And a magi is a magic man, is a warlock, is a sorcerer. It's all wordcraft, folks. This is why we're underneath of a spell. Look at the word spell within itself. Look at the word cursive. Cursive writing. Language is the mark of the beast. I tell people that, and they look at me like I'm a freaking idiot. I tell them all the time that our language is a split tongue language. That's why slaughter and laughter are with laughter's in the word slaughter. Sin is in sincere. Less is in bless. It's a serpent tongue language that we speak. This language, the English language, this is why Indians said that the white man speaks with the forked tongue, because the language itself is a split tongue language. It has two meanings, sometimes multiple meanings. I'll show you a beautiful word, what I'm talking about right now. Dictionary.com. I don't know who's in the room, but I thank you if you're hanging out and you're listening. Let's look at this word. Imagination. The power to create in one's mind. So everything that we're living right now is created in our own minds. But it's, see, what the movie Sleeping Beauty is a hidden truth bomb as well. That when after Adam and Eve ate the apple, the metaphoric apple, then they fell asleep. They were no longer connected to light, pure love. They were disconnected. They saw their skins. Now all of a sudden, their skins cast a shadow. So the word imagination, I'm a magi jinn nation. The imagination that we have is an illusion. We've been trapped inside of a flesh suit. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, Bible Hub. We've been captured inside of a flesh suit. God created man in an image. I've got to turn my light on because dusk is upon us. It's always darkest before the dawn. Where did that saying come from, folks? So here when we look at the word image, because image is basalamo, as you can plainly see here, also in the Strong's Concordance 6754, it says Tselem, Tselm, or EM, spelled backwards, Tselem. When you spell Tselem backwards, it comes to molest, because these, whatever this is that's created on the 6th day of creation, is all sorts of evil, man. So this God here, Elohim, which is something that is used, and this is key in understanding the reality of this world that we live in, okay? Everything is to the Supreme Spirit, and this is what mankind is doing with CERN. This is why they put photos like this right in front of your face. Right here. This is a CERN machine. This is Beyonce in her high heels. It's right in our faces. So I tell people that CERN is reverse engineering of a woman's womb. How much more can they put that in your face? I mean, seriously, how much more can they put that in your face? Images of CERN, and then my family all thinks that I'm an idiot. I could care less. I know what train I'm on right now today, folks. Look at that tube right there. Okay, this is what they're firing these protons through. Look at that. Are you kidding me? It's right in your face. Over and over. And the spider. Why the 8 legs? Why? Why not 10? Why not 12 legs? Why 8 legs? Because it's a representation of a spider. And what does a spider do? It spins a web. And that's what this thing is. It's technology. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, Bible Hub. King James Bible over here says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. This is what CERN is. It's a device. This information that we're looking at, that what they're teaching us and talking about today, isn't old technology, folks. It's new technology being reinvented. Damn, having to deal with this camera every time I move it. My box is starting to wear down. I need to get me a little tripod. Something that would work a little more. So I've showed you this picture many times. Jesus was trans. Well, they're not lying. It's right in your face. I mean, the Jesus that they worship. I got to be real careful with what I say here, okay? There was a historical Jesus, which was a Jesus that was born in a manger. The one that was sent, that's a split tongue. That's this Jesus here. Jesus was sent. He's the one that's a trans. And I can prove that in scriptures. And I will. I mean, if you watch enough of my videos, you're going to find that my stuff, what I teach, can't be disputed. It's mind-blowing content. I love it. I love knowing the truth. I love walking in the truth. All of that. This thing's starting to annoy me because I'm having to fight with it so much. Let's look at some other photos I have here. That's the one that I just took of the Vatican. I told you that the angels are being born into this system, melted down in into angel poo, I would call it, dripping down here into the priests who are holding cisterns. And you can go look at this picture yourself, folks. I'm not making anything up. You got to start questioning what these people are in these priests that are given power, what they're doing. That is a goat. These are the eyes. That is the snout coming down. These are the angels being melted down into a pool. So I fight with these guys. I tell them all the time, man. I write nasty messages to YouTube. I slam them because they're always threatening. Go. I guarantee you. Watch. Go into a room. Type in "F-U, kill the AI." Try it. Go and type that over and over and over. Kill the AI. Watch. They'll block that comment. They'll take it down. You know what? That's how this whole show started. This is what started it. Where are you at?
Running in a pattern. It's like this big here, and it looks like code. It looked like programming code.
Okay. So what they're doing is they're talking about a light, because the Supreme Spirit is complete light, and there's a dark force as well. People don't seem to think that darkness can comprehend the light, but of course darkness comprehends the light. Why do you think it fears the light so much? Because of course, if darkness didn't comprehend the light, then there would be no reason to fear it. That's the level I'm on. That's common sense, and common sense on this plane of existence eludes people. So they're talking about light, and then this one here, this little girl here.
They put new stuff in our matrix. Yeah. Can you tell me why they're putting 2 moons?
Because they're trying to show you that the matrix is real. Like some people.
They're trying to show you that the matrix isn't real. Now, can somebody do that with scriptures? Absolutely, I can. They're trying to show you that the matrix isn't real. Let me move this in a little bit. In fact, why don't I just zoom in? Come on. There you go. Man, this phone is so hot. I can't believe it. How hot it is. Let me pull it in a little closer. Can't believe how hot that phone is. I mean, it's almost burn your fingers hot. I'm surprised it's still running. So God created man in his image. We live in a matrix. An image is a phantom. Oh, you rotten little munchkin, you. Right there. So God created man in his own image. An image is to shade a phantom. Okay? Root meaning to shade. A phantom. A devil. A demon. An illusion. It's an illusion. Whatever that was given power here on the 6th day is creating an illusion. And this, whatever this entity is, wants us to worship the flesh. It wants you to worship Donald Trump. It wants you to worship Joe Biden or any other person in government. When you vote, people, you are giving your power away. You are literally voting a demon. So I don't trust people that vote, or trust people that say, well, I voted for the lesser of two evils. Oh, really? The lesser of two evils? Is that how freaking stupid you are? That you'd vote for something that was evil, damn knowing that it's evil, saying that it's evil. I voted for the lesser of two evils, and you still vote that shit in office? And then you wonder, oh, why is this place such a shithole? Because you are voting evil into office. Why do you think after 4 years, I have 432 subscribers? I've had over probably about 7 or 8 thousand subscribers, and they've all of them leave. That's on them. That's their fault. Mm-hmm. A resemblance here. Let's I mean, I got sidetracked here. I always do, and because I'm all over the place. I'm upset, and it's just the way it is. Let's um let's see. Oh, this was the lie. I just follow this stuff for entertainment, folks. I watch politics as entertainment, and I watch Hollywood for the truth bombs. But you got to understand that all of these people here on this website, Donald J. Trump, I'm sure I could find Carmela Harris as well as 666. You just got to you got to find a key word with the key phrase. Like Jesus. Jesus is the one who's holding the key. And when you type holding the key, gematria calculator, thought that I had it already. Mankind was the one I went. And then we have Jesus who's holding the key. And this is what I mean about key phrases. When you read through the Bible, this is what I do. Is I read through the Bible, I type in key phrases that are in the Bible. And Jesus is the one who's holding a key. Well, he's the one that's holding a key to what? Death and Hades. Jesus doesn't hold the keys to life. Okay, he holds the keys to death. Key phrases. Who is the Lord? Who is the Lord in the Bible? It's Yahweh, right? And Yahweh is who? He's what? He's God of Israel. Excuse me. God of Israel in Hebrew gematria, it comes to 322. 322, skull and bones. This is Hebrew gematria, folks. Not English, not anything. I know. And this is why I keep losing. This is why people run. Both races, Gentile and Hebrew, come in and they see this content. And, like I say, my stuff. Oh, look at that. Sorry about that. Got so excited, I forgot to show you guys. I forgot to make it small. Right there. Hebrew. Gematria equals 322. What I should do from here on out is move my computer back and forth instead of this stand. It would be much easier. Oops, you weren't supposed to do that. You see that? That's skull and bones. See the number there? 322. So in Hebrew gematria, God of Israel, which is Yahweh, which is translated from the Anunnaki, which is Enlil. I got supposedly this is showing that I have a listener who's been with me from the very beginning. So if you're a real person, I'd really appreciate it if you just said hi. Just said hi, because I know how YouTube is. They like to play their little games. This is why, in the end, I'm going to use their heads as a battering ram on a door. They're going to get theirs. 322, God of Israel. 322 is also 666. Yeah. Okay. And their God, Israel's God, Yah, is Lord. This is why I don't worship the Lord. People use the word Lord all the time. I don't worship. I used to. I mean, so I slip in my lessons because it's been so indoctrinated into us that we just say it off our lips, and it just flows, and nobody knows, and the entity, the divinity, just grows. Yah's Lord is 666. Jesus is holding the keys is 666. God of Israel, Yahweh, is 666. A president, a president, 666. So that doesn't matter what president, a president, any president that takes office is 666. Everybody's voting these people into office. You're voting for mankind. You're voting for mankind. And none of you can see it. Mankind are what was created on the sixth day of creation. Mankind are what are evil. They want you to worship them. Stop worshiping them. They are aliens. They're giant aliens. I don't think that's right. Because that's what they're shoving down our throats, right? They want us to believe that there's aliens. Folks, it's you. You're the alien. You're the beast. You're the demon. You're the devil. It's you. The devil that resides in you. It's not out there in this world. This world is an illusion, and everybody on this world that's living here are players. All of us are all players. Every one of us. There's nobody that doesn't live on this plane of existence that isn't a player, hasn't been a player, isn't running with it. You are playing. Not everybody. Most people, the larger number of people, those in religion, the 2/3, and more than 2/3 is just a number. 2/3 is 66.6. Again. So when it says that 2/3 of God's children will die from lack of knowledge, that's just 666. 1/3 of the angels fell from heaven. Inverted 3, that's 33.3. Invert that number and go 3.33, then you have 3 6s. This system we live in is a 666 system. You can't get away from the system. This is why the Washington Monument stands 555 feet tall, multiplied by 12 inches, is 666 inches, 6,660 inches by 55.5 feet wide, which is 666 inches. Designated on October 15th, 1 plus 5 is 6, 1966. It took 6 years to build. Why did we have to stand 6 feet apart and when we're buried at 6 feet under? I've showed you earlier, I've showed you in many of them, giant aliens, 666. This is crucial here, this word. Illusion is 666. These are not coincidences. So that mankind that's created, they're the ones that are created on the sixth day of creation. Mankind is 66, and mankind's created on the sixth day of creation. Okay? They are not the same, those created on the sixth day of creation, and those that are created in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, Bible Hub. Then the Lord here, Yahweh, okay, Yahweh, the Lord separate from God. Why isn't Lord and God? And you'll never find Lord and God connected as one meaning, because Lord is Yahweh, God is Elohim, also God is a magistrate. Elohim is what God is called in the Old Testament. Magistrates are what they're called in the New Testament. And every time you see the word God in the New Testament, never does it say the Almighty. It always says a magistrate. John 1:1 Bible Hub. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Somebody ought to rap that song out, huh? That'd be, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Bah, bah. Right? Well, problem. Again, this is not the same God as the Old Testament. This is a magistrate. It's a supreme divinity. Divinity has the word divi in it. Divi means to divvy up. This is not the supreme creator. This is something as well that is used, just like this one here. This God here, everything to the glory of the supreme spirit. What did I do? Right here is used. Everything from the point of singularity, both good and evil. Good and evil is within. It's within all of us. We all have the capability to do both good and evil. Like the movie Trading Places. They took Eddie Murphy, a homeless guy off the streets, and took not Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, and turned who was a successful Wall Street man who made millions of dollars, and people listened to him and took his advice and all that, and they took him, and the two brothers made a dollar bet that they could take Eddie Murphy and turn him into a Wall Street tycoon that could do the same thing as somebody had been working on it all their lives, and they destroyed one man for another man. And they could care less, and that's the way they are. That's what they do. That's a truth bomb. So when it talks about an image, we're talking about a phantom. That's why I hate doing lives, because I got to keep moving this damn thing over all the time. Okay. Can you guys see that? Phantom. Illusion. Phantom and illusion. Illusion. Mankind on the sixth day. Illusion. 666. This is a fantasy world we live in. Fantasy. These are the illusion, the Walking Dead.
God. If you try to get in touch with other entities other than God, that's your own will. And you will have to sacrifice in your life other things and other people. Take somebody else's will. This is also a good thing and the best thing in the entire world, and I've used it for 13 years now. Anytime, on any day, every day, any moment that you feel like doing it. For any question, for any healing, for any deliverance, for any answer, for any single thing. But you better be careful what answers you're getting. I hope that I've said this enough. And it's the easiest thing in the world. It's less than nothing. Whenever you do less than nothing, and you give your will to something else, you better be sure that you're giving it to God Almighty and Him only, not this fake Jesus spirit.
Or politicians. This is key to understand. Politicians, governors, assemblymen, senators, all those that are at the office of Congress, you can't give your hope and faith in these people you don't even know. They're freaking demons. They're devils.
You'll have some prophecies that come true, but your mind will be geared towards that Jesus spirit. And then you'll see a bunch of false things because He's not even in this age. We should be worshiping God today, not Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see a bunch of false prophecies. You'll see rapture dreams. You'll see everything else. You'll see prophecies that come to pass about the world because you live in the world. But about the times and about God, and about where we live, and about what's important, you will not see the right thing.
So the world, man, 3:16. So God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in Him shall not perish but have eternal life. So God loves the world, it says, and then it says the world is underneath of judgment. How can God love the world if the world's under judgment? See, I just found this channel here. They just pushed this guy on my thread, and I really like his content, man. I like him. I like his channel. I like what he's teaching. This title here is The World's Biggest Lie, and the guy's channel is called Derek Jester. I don't know if I care for the last name too much, because we all know what a jester is. That's a Jake. And a Jake is a jokester.
This goes for anything else. You pray to Muhammad, you pray to something else, no matter what religion, or one of the millions of Hindu gods, whatever. Every single thing will backfire except for God Almighty. You should not be looking for health for the wrong reasons, for money for the wrong reasons, for this person for the wrong reasons, for ghosts for the wrong reasons, for anything. And here it is. All I gotta do is lay down.
Ghosts are the spirit of the dead, man. Jesus Christ died on the cross and gave up the ghost.
That's it. Kick back in the chair. Lay down on the bed. Ask your question. You can ask a question about any single thing. You can ask a question about the pyramids. You can ask a question about science. You can ask a question about any single thing in the entire world. And you can draw anything.
Oh, I got a comment.
You can do anything. And every single in the entire world. And you can draw anything to you. And you can do anything. And every single person is spiritual. Everybody has done this, whether they know it or not, does do it, and it governs their...
Everybody has done this, whether they know it or not. I want to welcome you, Julop, Jewel Pop. Welcome. I can see your chat, but I have this box in the way, and it's incredibly hard to read because I don't have a tripod. It says, hi, I am using computer, I guess, TV, and does not have chat input. Well, okay. It has some kind of input, though. Thank you for your comment. Are you the one that's been here with me from the beginning? Jalop? I would really like to know you've been hanging out with me, and I'm really grateful.
Their whole life, and it governs kingdoms and nations and countries and everything. So only do it to God. You lay down to God and ask God a question, not for your own will. Ask Him a question, and then you just give Him. You do nothing. Nothing. You lay there until nothing. You lay there until you drift off, and you can see anything about any person, anything, anytime, anywhere, and you'll see a dream. Every dream needs to be interpreted. They all have, but you do it in just seconds. Until you go out, until you drift off, until you meditate or whatever you're doing. But it takes nothing. If you're trying hard, you're not going to get there. Because you have to do nothing in whatever will you're praying to. That person, that thing, that entity.
And that means letting God do His will. That means, like me, I have a real hard problem with wrath today. You know, I'm so bitter and hateful of this world, and I'm bummed out that I was sucked into this con, to this lie, and I just have this anger and venom that runs through my veins, and I just want to destroy the evil. What I know what evil is today, and it's not my place. God's telling you he will handle all things. Okay, so that means that we just got to let everything go of this world and be spirited with the source, the point of singularity.
Say, what's your name? And you do nothing until you drift off, and it'll tell you its name. You do it again. Say, where'd you come from? You'll see where it came from. You do it again. You'll see what they want and what they think. You do it again. You can do it with the intention on getting an angel to come and send them to the light. They'll go to the light. You can also get possessed, sleep paralysis, bed shaking.
Well, folks, what he's talking about is you can also get possessed. You see, I believe this stuff. A person asked me the other day if I believed in ghosts. Damn straight I believe in ghosts. Are you freaking kidding me? Everything that dies in the flesh that didn't find source is left here on this plane of existence. And they're trying to jump into our bodies like the movie with Whoopi Goldberg, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. Movies with Patrick Swayze and Whoopi Goldberg. Ghost. Oh God, I gotta laugh at myself about that. I couldn't even remember that movie. That's too funny, man. That's hilarious. Ghost. Okay, so Whoopi becomes like this medium in this movie, and ghosts can jump on her body and enter her body. It's a truth bomb. Damn straight, there's ghosts that live on this plane of existence, and if you're not protected by the full spirit, I don't call the armor, because armor is material. I'm talking about the supreme spirit. Walk with the spirit and let the spirit cover you. Nothing of material, nothing of metal, nothing, no armor, no nothing. Let the spirit cover you. Let the spirit protect you, because the material world wants you to call on that. I'm telling you, this is wordcraft. So if you're like saying, "Oh, I'll wear the full armor of God," the full armor of God is metal. That's a breastplate. That's a sword. That's armor. You got to let go of the world and turn it all over to the spirit.
Earthquake, like your house is in an earthquake. Fans going off like a jet engine if you have to sleep with a fan on. Poltergeists, literal physical contact with spirits, scratches, everything. So you better only do this to God. And it is so simple that I'm giving you too much information. It's so simple. All you do is lay down for any single thing in the entire world. You can put your spirit in somebody else's house and see what's going on. You can put your spirit anywhere in the world just by thinking about it and then doing nothing.
But at the same time, this guy just condemned that, because that's Hinduism and Buddhists. What they believe that the spirit can leave the body, and all it really is, folks, is the dream world. When you leave your body, that's the real world. Okay, and then in order to get the source, because your spirit has to be fed from source. Everything on this plane of existence is fed from source. Nothing is not fed without the source. He's the one that punishes, and he's the one that does evil. He's the one that created it all. Or this. It's so hard to call on the spirit as a he when God plainly says that he's not a he or a man. So man is masculine. You know, I don't know what source is, but to me, I know that it's beautiful. There's no question about that. There's a place that's far better than this plane of existence here that we live on. Way better. Well, thanks a lot for listening, Julot. I mean, I'm really pleased. Thank you for coming in. I'll be honest with you. I thought you were some YouTube silent, just clicking on it. But thanks for stopping in.
No thoughts, no nothing. Think one thought of what you want, and then do nothing until you drift off for a couple seconds. Healing, see anything, get deliverance, everything. And you can get every single answer from God, and you can do it anytime. It's not a, why didn't that work? Because you did something. Do nothing. You will get the answer every single time to any question. Any time of day, stop what you're doing, put the phone down right now, go lay down, ask a question, wait until you drift off completely, see a dream in the spirit for a few seconds, and that's it. Think no thoughts, do nothing else, you'll see it. This is the biggest secret in the entire world. Give me a follow.
So when you do that, what you got to understand in order to return to source, that darkness is completely around you, because darkness has been turned over. This world has been turned over to the hands of the wicked. So with darkness upon us, then when we're leaving our body, it means that we're moving through a realm, through a plane of existence that is of darkness. In order to find darkness, this is why you have to let go of the world. You must let go of this world in order to find source. You can't be attached to it. You can't believe that mankind is going to save you. You can't believe anything that you have been taught. It's just as he said, you must go directly to the point of singularity, the spirit of truth, the living one, the most high, the almighty. Is there anything you'd like to say, Julop? I want to welcome you personally myself. Thank you for stopping in. You're using router TV and does not have chat input. Yes, I'm on now. Was using Roku TV. Well, what do you think of the content? What do you think about 666? There's another channel I listen to, Brother Sanchez TV, and he just does videos that are so long. I mean, I love him. When I first found his channel, I listened to probably about, I don't know, 80 to 200 hours of his content. Whenever I find a channel of somebody that I enjoy listening to, this guy here's channel he's got a lot of great content. We're kind of on the same lines of teaching. He understands that Jesus is not the Supreme Spirit. All right. Well, I'm going to cut out if you don't have anything to ask. And don't forget to hit the like button. See that there's 2 people in here. And I don't have any thumbs up. So, Jewel, hit that thumbs up. Whoever came in later in this lesson, if you would, hit the thumbs up. And give me a couple likes, because I work hard at this content. Much love. This is White Raptor News Ministries.